I sat on the cliff, not because of the view of the ugly sunset, its beams piercing my eyes, not because of the thunderous waves below that scowled at me as I looked into their faces, not because of the fresh sea air that stung my drowsy lips as my teeth gnawed their cracked skin down. Nay, for I was not here of my own accord, my poor legs having dragged me down here to the seafront once more, without a thought from my irresponsible brain. I knew not what their intention with me was, only that they cared naught of my thoughts. Those dastardly limbs hung off this rock I sat on, reaching down towards the ocean floor. They appeared to be moving ever further from dry land, but my spindly toes curled back in protest, and now I saw my legs' intentions. Lest I make an intervention, they would soon continue their extension. But the problem was, I didn't want to stop. I wanted it to stop. So yes, give up all control, and with that I let the feet take over. One stepped, quickly followed by the other. There's safety in numbers. This was it. The great tumbling down, I thought. And with that, I fell. Why had it come to this? Surely, whatever shit was going on, it was better to be alive and sorted out than alone in death. Surely I would rather walk through the garden with depression than through the graveyard with the knobbly fingers of the reaper intertwined with my own. Surely I could push through my problems, maybe talk to someone who knows a thing or two about life, and with a clack of the heels I would be back prancing around like nothing had ever happened. But the issue was not that something had happened and placed me on a direct flight to suicide. The issue was that life, and all it contained, was meaningless. Anything I ever did in life would eventually amount to nothing. I have stared up into the cosmos on starlit nights and screamed at the galaxy, what's the point of all this? And you know what? Can you guess the reply? Can you take a gander? Oh yeah, that's right. A resounding, reverberating silence. Because the universe doesn't give a shit about you, or me. We're its subjects, created so that it can spit in our faces and say, hey, you there, the fellow with the top hat and nipple blades, you best enjoy yourself, yeah? Had I not taken this fall, I probably would have lived for another 65 years? 65 years of pain and suffering. While yes, there would have been moments of happiness, fleeting moments at that. They would have been drowned out by a chorus of humiliation. So I say to hell with the choir that sung that song, to hell with spiderwebs I did not see and all of the debauchery. To hell with having the bone structure of a bonobo, without the strength to row a rowboat. Camus said that there is only one serious, philosophical question, which is whether or not you should commit suicide. Now I would argue that there are 4 or 5, but that's besides the point. Humans are merely biological machines, and it doesn't matter if I turn off my machine now or later. So, all aboard the Suicide Express it was for me. Please, ladies and gentlemen, leave your loving relationships outside the vehicle. No, sir, there's no need to show your ticket. Anyone can get on whenever they like. But please, be aware, once you take the step, you can't turn back. And yet still, as I fell, my body did not want to die. My mind was certain of its actions, but my body rebelled against its controller, curling into a protective ball as the rock's cackles became ever louder. I looked up for my last moments on this world to find a radiant sunset pouring down upon me. It truly was a thing of beauty. A golden ring encompassed the great star, and slowly faded out into a brilliant orange, and that still faded out into the deafening black of the near night sky, and all of a sudden I was filled with a great sense of awe at the universe around me. There was so much beauty to be discovered, and I had left every rock unturned. Everything in this universe was beautiful, in some way or another. This sunset I watched, the rocks beneath, and the sky above. I stared into the empty void of the sky, and saw for the first time just how full it was. I saw galaxies teeming with wonder, colour erupting from their centres, just as it did from every star I saw. I saw the opportunity brought by this vastness, the opportunity that I had squandered. For every dark patch out there, I viewed also a glinting speck smiling upon me. Stars shone as sugar spilt over black marble. And now I peered inwardly to this planet which I would soon be leaving. It drew me in with lush forests and the allure of the beautiful animals which it harboured. Every reptile and juvenile crocodile, every pile of bugs that endured the hostile trials of the desert. I admired them all, but they were not the crowning jewel of this celestial spaceship. Nay, for that title would go to a certain group of monkeys, who I held near and dear to my heart. Each and every one of them was unique, with their own tribulations to endure each and every day. And yet they were all so normal, somehow remaining sane in this confused mess of a world. They went about their daily lives, talking to each other all the while, filing and dialing and crying from time to time when they got the chance. And despite all this suffering, they never once complained. They would smile on the weekends, smile with me. They might even laugh occasionally, their shoulders bouncing up and down. But I would never laugh with them again. Finally, as I peered at the rocks mere meters away, I saw the meaning of it all. Yes, we're all going to die eventually, but that does not mean that nothing means anything. The meaning is found within the enjoyment. The meaning is making other people laugh, and laughing yourself. The meaning is looking out to a great sunset of beauty. The meaning is holding his hand, and seeing his lips curl up slightly. The meaning is drinking tea for the first time with 5 sugars. The meaning is hearing that song again an age later, and remembering all of those memories. The meaning is a cup of fridge water at 1 AM. There is meaning intrinsic to a laugh, a hug, a kiss. There is meaning intrinsic to being alive in the first place. There is meaning intrinsic to joy. But as I realised this, I knew I would never be able to make use of it. Fate was a cruel mistress, only making her secrets accessible to those foolish enough to test her. Now the rocks below were bellowing at me, and I screeched back as I hurtled down towards them. Yet as I did, I smiled. I wanted to enjoy this.